The inspirational author Sharon Alder says we should carve our names on hearts and not tombstones. A true legacy is etched into the minds of others and the stories they share about you. The late Trevor Gordon-Somers carved his name on the hearts of many at Roots 96.1 FM, and by extension the Mustard Seed communities. These are the stories we share about this esteemed individual who left us peacefully at the age of 87 in the United States, where he was living with his wife and children. I am Denise Isis Miller of Roots 96.1 FM. I will never forget the first word that came to my mind to describe Mr. Trevor Gordon-Somers when I first set eyes on him over 2 decades ago. It was distinguished. One of the main things that impressed me about Mr. Somers was his knowledge of community and how to access and make inroads to the inner city. His leadership and communication qualities helped Roots FM develop critical and important relationships with area leaders and residents. Mr. Somers instilled in me the power of community based on respect, resilience, and restoration. Despite his busy life, he volunteered with Roots 96.1 FM, owned and operated by the Mustard Seed communities, as chairman, and instantly created a bond with the founder of Mustard Seed communities, Monsignor Gregory Ramkissoon.
Okay. My dear listeners, I'm Monsignor Gregory Ramkissoon of Mustard Seed communities. On behalf of all of our people, our children, our employees, our donors, everybody, I would like to express our deep condolences to the family, friends, everyone concerning Mr. Trevor Gordon-Somers. Trevor came to us roughly, I don't have the exact date, about 06, 07 to Jamaica. He came back and he started working. He was a diplomat and so on, of course. He was working with the United Nations and so on, in Africa too. And he came to us as a volunteer at that time, around 06, 07, and he was amazing. He had no real radio experience, but he helped us develop structurally in terms of the organization, fundraising-wise, and with administration of Roots FM. That's our community radio station, which was started in about 1995, I think. And Trevor stayed on until about just before COVID, 2019, 2018. And that man was amazing what he did for our communities. I should tell you, Mustard Seed was short of money sometime, and Trevor would advance us money to pay the staff at Roots FM until we could get him. I don't think we even pay back all the money. But he was so deeply entrenched into the culture of the ghetto area, of the community area of Mustard Seed communities, of where we are. He used to have discussions with the people in the community as to how best they can organize themselves to be more positive and more proactive in their own development.
Monsignor Gregory Ramkissoon. Catholic priest Father Gavin Augustine is the executive director for Mustard Seed Communities International, whose great admiration for Mr. Somers was evoked when they first met on the African continent.
Thinking about Trevor Gordon-Somers, I think about persons who make time for things that you love, or make time for persons or people that you love, you know. And I remember years ago, I don't remember, maybe it's 2004, Trevor was working, he was visiting Africa. And he took the time, and it was sort of out of his way, he took the time to come and visit Mustard Seed in Zimbabwe. I was there at the time. And I remember Trevor coming and visiting our home there and our property and giving advice. And I said, what a thing. This is a man who, you know, is a busy man, but he made the time. And then you fast forward to his time here at Roots FM, and he was always available, always present. I remember the annual Christmas treats that we had. Trevor was always here Christmas morning, assisting with packing the food and so on, you know. is a man who I think devoted his time to something that he felt passionate about, something that he loved. And I know he loved the radio station. One other thing I mentioned, there were times when there were financial issues, and Trevor would take out of his pocket and give the volunteers, the staff, their stipend, because we couldn't afford to do it, so he would do it himself. What a generous man, a generous spirit, and I know he lived a full life, but we will still miss that beautiful personality. God bless him.
Mrs. Darcy Tuller Williams is the Executive Director of Mustard Seed Jamaica, who sees him as a conduit of blessings for those around him who were poor in spirit.
Hi, my name is Darcy Tuller Williams, and I'm the Executive Director of Mustard Seed Communities, and I'm really very saddened to hear of the passing of Trevor Gordon-Somers. Trevor was a friend, definitely a friend to Mustard Seed, and my recollection of him is that he was an elder statesman, somebody who could walk among the princes of this earth and dine with the most impoverished of persons. And he loved community, and he worked to bring peace among those who were experiencing what we would call poverty of spirit. He was, I believe, beloved and respected, and brought all matters of social justice to the table. And he did this through his involvement as chair of the Mustard Seed Community Roots FM, which is our social radio station, community radio station, as well as his involvement with our management committee, because he was critical in that in terms of the decision making. And he did this with grace and aplomb, whether sitting at the community bar stool where he would have his little beer or curry, or at the conference table. And so he is deeply missed, and we just continue to pray for his soul and for his family.
Mrs. Darcy Tuller Williams. Trevor Gordon-Somers not only had a passion for the Mustard Seed Communities and Roots FM, he had a strong commitment to the people of the inner city. Former Roots FM station manager Rosamond Brown is one of the many whom he shared very close working relationships in the development of the station, and one of his favorite pastimes was eating curry goat and drinking a red stripe with her and others at Karen's community bar on a Friday. Here is Karen.
I am running a cook shop, and he's well supportive to me with his friend them, and he motivates me a lot. And when I heard that he passed off, I was so sad. He's a very good and willingly man, and it hurt me so much in my heart that he passed off, but he's a very good person. And I give this tribute to Mr. Trevor Somers. I give him a doctorate because he's so quiet and intelligent, and he support people. To me, he's a very good and generous man to me. And I'm just talking with tears, and I feel it for Mr. Trevor Somers. I am Karen, which is the curry goat boss, okay? Curry Friday then.
Rosamond Brown, who worked closely with Trevor as station manager in building out the station's format and outreach impact, viewed Trevor Somers for more than his easygoing nature. She now details his purpose to Roots FM, simply describing him as a man of distinction.
The story of Roots FM can't be told without several important chapters on Trevor Gordon-Somers. He is indelibly written in the history of Roots. For about 2 decades, that's about the time that he spent fully committed to the social and the economic development of urban communities, particularly the communities along Spanish Town Road, like Denham Town, Tivoli Gardens, Maxfield, Greenwich Town, Arnett Gardens, and the one where he spent most of his time, which is Sivrat Gardens. I met Trevor back in 2004. He and Colin Chumley, the chairman of Roots FM at the time, recruited me to manage Roots FM. And when Trevor took over the chairmanship of the station after Colin Chumley had migrated, we worked very closely together for the next 10 or so years, just building roots into a sustainable radio station, a station that the country needed, the community needed, a station focused on public education around some of the unique issues faced by poor people, inner city communities we call them, the kind of issues that commercial media, traditional media, really don't have the space to focus on. And Trevor's main focus was a program named Make We Talk. Well, his fingerprints and his footprints are all over the station, but Make We Talk is one that he was passionate about. He was passionate that there needed to be a radio program and a space where councillors, members of parliament, legitimate area leaders, NGOs, the police and residents, all of these stakeholders could have open conversations and be included in real ways in developing the kind of communities that they wanted to live in. So for years, Trevor used his wealth of experience in international peacekeeping and his high-level contacts to make these conversations happen both in the communities and on air. And for the time that he was chairman of Roots, under his watch, both Roots FM and Mustard Seed Communities Chapel were spaces where community members would come to meetings, both on air and off air, and discuss issues and solutions to issues and how things were going to work and how we could make a difference. He was relentless. Make We Talk had, I think, about a 20-year run, and the community link-up outside broadcasts, those continued for well over a decade. But having said all of that, most of all, what I remember about Trevor and what I admire Trevor for is just the way he made people feel. Rich or poor, whether you're dirty or clean, whether you speak English or raw patois, Trevor communicated the very same way with every single person. He spoke to you and he dealt with you with respect and with compassion. He was a model human being. I think of Trevor as a man of distinction. He's a humanitarian. I am so very grateful that he was my friend, that I was able to learn from him and be mentored by him. And I hope that his spirit will be free and eternally at peace. Thank you, Trevor, for all that you've done.
Former station manager of Roots FM, Rosamond Brown. In this tribute from Roots FM to Trevor Gordon-Somers, we have so far heard from some of the main people who worked closely with this individual of high acclaim. One such person is Owen Brown, a man who he credits for most of his professional achievements simply because he saw his potential, created opportunity, and trusted him with responsibility.
He's a man who played a significant role in my professional development. I must say that while I was at Roots 96, while being a presenter, Mr. Gordon-Somers, he saw potential in me, and he also believed in my technical skills. He was actually the one who gave me the opportunity to, display what I know technically. I remember when he was talking to me about getting ZincLink up and running, he made a partnership with the Universal Service Fund to get some computers, to get ZincLink up and running, and he entrusted me with the role of being technical manager there to see what's happening with the running of ZincLink. Also, he entrusted me with being the technical manager of Roots 96.1 FM following that, and I held that position up to my departure in 2023. I must say that these opportunities, they helped shape my growth and my confidence. For that, I will always be grateful for him seeing the potential and giving me the opportunity to shine, and beyond just, giving me the opportunity and my professional leadership, Mr. Somers was also a true community man. I witnessed him impacting the community. He was deeply committed to the development and the upliftment of Civil Rights Gardens and Coburn Gardens. He would always do whatever he could to assist and improve the lives of others. So, I definitely have to applaud that. His vision and his generosity and dedication, it will definitely not be forgotten. His legacy will live on, and through the many lives that he touched and the communities he served. I must say, rest in peace, Mr. Somers. Thank you for believing in me and for all that you gave to the community.
Former technical engineer at Roots FM, Owen Brown. There are so many more who he touched in an immense way along his illustrious journey. In describing Trevor Gordon-Somers, we have heard anecdotes which suggest he was noble, resourceful, indomitable, distinguished, and inspiring, and compassionate to the disenfranchised in the community. And he was very caring for his staff. Here's one such person, Tanya Pickering, who reminded us that it was not only curry goat and a red stripe on a Friday, but it was also Pizza Tuesdays for the staff of Roots FM, sponsored out of pocket, and more.
Writing this tribute was very hard for me. It was very hard, but I had to write this tribute because Mr. Somers deserved this tribute. And I say Mr. Somers was a true leader. He was that. He led with empathy, wisdom, and a genuine respect for everyone. He always took the time to listen to each and every one of us. And that was something I really valued. And I will always hold it close to my heart because of the many conversations that we had. His leadership was not driven by authority, but by care, understanding, and trust. You could have trusted Mr. Somers with anything. You could go to him and sit down and have a conversation and know that's where it was. He wasn't leaving the office or anywhere we had that conversation about anything pertaining to me. I knew that. He made the office felt lighter. Work was meaningful, and I trust me, it was. And going to work each and every day was something I look forward to because, Mr. Somers, he used to love to give us strokes, Plus, we used to have our Pizza Tuesday, and he never forget that. Every time he used to come into the work on a Tuesday, he said, "What about Pizza Tuesday? We're not having Pizza Tuesday," And he did just that. Somebody had to go with him on the road to go get the pizza to make sure we could share in the office and laugh. He believed that work could be both productive and enjoyable, and I really appreciated that. I really appreciate that. He made the space filled with laughter, encouragement, and positivity. Mr. Somers cared about everybody deeply. He cared about his team. And how I know this, because once someone was not themselves, Mr. Somers was there. I can share a memory of that because I remember after we had a meeting, because we used to have our core meeting, and I didn't say much in the meeting, and he noticed that. It wasn't like the meeting finished and him leave or thank on. He was like, "Stay back, I need to have a conversation with you." And I was like, "Sir, what did I do?" Because I love to stir, And he just said, "Stay back, I need to talk." And we sat there and I was talking to him, and then he realized that I was really sad, and he was like, "All right, we're going to take a drive. I'm going to go so and get lunch for everybody, and I want you to come." And we went on the road, and we had the conversation where I could express myself freely and let him know what was bugging me. And he sat and he listened, and he gave me his feedback. He wasn't judgmental or anything like that. His concerns was sincere, and trust me, his support was always giving freely. He reminded us that behind every role was a person, and that kindness and compassion were just as important as results. Mr. Somers will be truly missed. He left behind hearts that were uplifted, lives that were touched, and memories that will continue to inspire us. His spirit will forever remain in the culture he helped and the people he so genuinely cared for. Mr. Somers, Mr. Trevor Gordon-Somers, a name to remember and a leader to remember.
Tanya Pickering, formerly of Roots FM. Aging has a wonderful beauty, blossoming from inner richness gained through life experiences. Former auxiliary worker Agatha Hall is one such person who, though in her 90s, will talk all day about Trevor Somers.
Keep him and gone, but I'm asking you to keep him up. Give him the head time straight that you can't know what happened. Mr. Somers is very good to me when he was here, because when you realize me there so with them, and when you realize him take me picture and send it go to Natabia to Banana Board and then send it back, come give me. And nothing me die when me no want. Mr. Somers no give me it and all them be there. And I don't feel so good because I never knew that this would happen. So boy, God keep him, God carry him through safe. We bury him and keep him and wall up the faith with the dead with him. And because if I can't go, I will take a tractor and go with Mr. Somers and Mr. Somers funeral. You know, see it, and I love him. You see, yeah, I love him in Jesus.
We have heard from so many regarding the eminence of Trevor Gordon-Somers from the Mustard Seed Roots FM and Coburn Gardens community. And these were just a few. Here are some others who feel the need to pay tribute.
Greetings, family and friends. This is Dennis Flames. I extend my deepest condolences to the family, friends, and colleagues of Mr. Somers. His dedication and contribution to the station will be remembered. May his soul rest in peace.
AKA Sir, as I would affectionately call him. He was a boss who genuinely showed us kindness, fairness, understanding, patient. He was someone who we could always count on. He'll be sadly missed by us all, or moreover, he'll be just sadly missed by the community that he loved oh so much. Roots 96.1 FM and the Mustard Seed family. I am Carol Taylor.
I condolences to Mr. Somers' family and Roots FM family coming from Father Bush. Blessings.
Mr. Gordon-Somers was more than just a boss. He was a genuinely good person with a kind heart. He had a way of putting people at ease and always knew how to bring a smile to your face. Even on the toughest days, he led with warmth, respect, and quiet strength. He was always protective and concerned about me. His memory will always be in my heart. He will be deeply missed, but warmly remembered. I am Marcel Williams' extraordinary abilities.
Thy will be done. No more till morning come, but I still do poetry jam on Roots FM 96.1. Rest in power, former General Manager, Mr. Somers, Ras Isachar.
Mr. Gordon-Somers led gently with a firm and steady hand, and a heart filled with warmth, love, and compassion. His genuine concern for the well-being of those he was entrusted to lead, especially the most vulnerable, is unmatched. A gentle giant has gone to sleep. We hope to meet you in the morning. Until then, rest in peace. I am Sharon Young Palmer, host, Extraordinary Abilities.
Hey, this is your Stula DJ Stringer 2 Prince of Afternoon Love Radio. Nothing can ever take away the true value that I've learned from Sir Trevor Gordon-Somers, the former chairman of Roots 96.1 FM. There are so many things to say, along with so many memorable moments. Those meetings, the things we shared, the chat and laughter we had, and above all, community link-up. Sir Trevor Gordon-Somers not only was one of the key people to Roots 96.1 FM, but to other organizations. At this time, he will be truly missed.
Roots FM has just presented its tribute to the man without whom the station would have not been impacted on society. And even then, we have not said enough and cannot say enough, but we try. As the founder of Mustard Seed Communities, Monsignor Gregory Ramkissoon says.
It cannot be described in words, but we want to let his family and friends and people know who Trevor was to us.
Trevor Gordon-Somers fought a good fight. He finished his course and he kept the faith that he would leave this world better than he found it through the many lives he touched throughout the world. Matthew 6, verse 20 to 21 says, "Lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust destroys, and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." We at Roots FM are privileged to be given some of these treasures to hold. Rest in peace, Trevor. Rest in peace. I am Denise Isis Miller of Roots 96.1 FM, extending our condolences to his entire family on behalf of all those who were privileged to journey with him here at the station, and by extension, the Mustard Seed Communities.
Sassuavaz, you're gone, but I miss you. I miss you everlasting, sir. And I'm sorry, say, you know, come out that we can see you. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. You see.